The Honeydew with y'all. Thank you for your support. Here's Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the Honeydew with y'all. We're over here doing it in the NIGHTPANTS studios. I am Ryan Sickler, and I want to thank you so much for your support. I got to tell you, what a fucking shitty year, and I love my goddamn job. Y'all made me fall in love with it even more. Thank you for your stories. Thank you for the people who've come on here and told your stories and shared your stories. And those of you who continue to submit, if you or someone you know has that story that has to be heard, please submit it to honeydewpodcast@gmail.com. You're now getting Honeydew a day early, ad-free at no additional cost. It's $5 a month here. You know the deal. If you're thinking about sticking around, do it for a year. You'll save on over a month of free episodes. All right? We're highlighting the lowlights with y'all, and it truly is a pleasure to come in here and talk to you all and see how you guys are dealing with your shit, and really it puts a lot of perspective on things. So my guest today, I'm very excited to introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Faith Dudek. Welcome to the Honeydew with y'all,
Yo,
Faith.
what's up?
All right, Faith, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for submitting your story, and thank you for making this work with us.
Thank you for giving me a chance. So
you got it. All right, so first three questions. Where right now in the world are you?
I'm in Monrovia, California.
Okay, you're local.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like Pasadena, Arcadia, that
Okay.
area. I work in Pasadena. So.
All right. And Faith, how old are you?
24.
All right, you're 24. And what do you do for a living?
Well, I wouldn't consider it like my job for a living, but
How do you
I'm
pay
like
your
a
bills?
caregiver.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh.
For memory care. I do. I pass out meds and stuff like that. So.
That's nice. Okay, good. You help people.
It gets a little crazy sometimes.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
And speaking of a little crazy sometimes, your story that you sent me got a little crazy at times. So
I don't even remember what I said.
Well, you're going to say it all again here. We're going to talk about addiction. Is that right?
Addiction and just a whole lot of shit.
Well, let's talk about it because
addiction's the main one. So.
All right. Talk to me about where addiction and how it all enters your life. Like, how old are you and what's going on in your world at the time?
Well, okay, so addiction comes in very different forms. I guess, like as a child, I was kind of addicted to food. And then I got kind of chunky, so then I got depressed. I got really depressed. And then like the first time I drank alcohol when I was like in 7th grade, I went to the hospital. I chugged a whole bottle of like the Costco thing. Little 7th grader, like
holy shit.
Yeah. And I went to the hospital. So that was like my first experience. And then I would like steal my grandma's like little meds once in a while, but I didn't think of it as
what?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but hold on. In 7th grade, you stole your grandma's meds?
Probably younger than that. I mean, to be honest, like I thought, I don't even think, I just like saw them in there.
What kind of shit were you taking? Do you even know?
Like narco stuff. I would like Google it. Like I'd read the thing and then I'd Google like, does this get you high? And then I'd take like 4. So,
oh yeah, you got the internet your whole life to go right to quietly and not have to ask a human being if these grandma's pills can get me fucked up.
I know, right?
So,
but I did a lot of.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're telling me the pills were before the alcohol? Then you're saying before that?
Much.
Yeah.
Pretty much before that incident.
Listen, you're proving my theory right that this whole marijuana gateway bullshit is and always has been bullshit. To me, today, from my family, my friends, their kids, everything I'm seeing, talking to all you guys out there, like the gateway drugs are in everyone's medicine cabinet. These fucking painkillers, these opiates, those are the killers. And then it just leads you now to the fucking fentanyls and everything else that's going on out there.
It's sad. I mean, I've been, victimized by the pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that. Everybody has. So,
okay. So you find pills in your grandmom's medicine cabinet and you take them.
Yes. And they feel good. And I don't really think anything of it. But then I remember like every night I'd be like, can I take a shower in your bathroom? Because the doors was closed. So I just started like, I'm like, I want to feel that again, you know? And then later I became a huge cutter. Like I got addicted to cutting, which
Okay,
is so weird.
can we talk about that? You say it's so
Yeah.
weird, but why? What is it about the cutting? I have a million questions. Do you like to see yourself bleed? Do you like to feel it? What are you cutting?
Things.
Are you cutting certain things or are you just cutting?
So there's a few things. Number one, now that I look at it, it was first some cry for help a little bit, but at the same time, it was like a release. Like if something happened, I'd almost feel good because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I had a whole little thing filled with like razors and like napkins and band-aids, like
And
on
you're
the side
what,
of my
12?
bed.
And you're 12?
Yeah,
God.
12. And then yeah, so I went through that. That was kind of the same time as the alcohol thing. I was living at my grandparents' house. My parents are split when I was like 6 years old. So
All right, that's what I want to ask you real quick. What is going on? What trauma in your life leads you to pills that early, cutting that early, alcohol that early? Like, was it just this? And I don't want to diminish it, by saying just your parents split, because I know that's devastating. It was for me as well. But was it your parents split, or was there anything else going on?
I was
in
an
there?
only child, and I kind of felt awkward.
Were
and
you
alone.
physically abused, or
No, well, my dad has anger issues.
Yeah.
You know, that's what my mom says, that like they got a divorce, and I live with him firsthand, so I see it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And manipulative. There was that type. There was no physical anything, but there was definitely that. And then what were we saying before this?
I was asking you what trauma led to you.
Probably just I don't know. I listened
why are
to
you
a lot
living
of
with your grandparents? Why aren't you with one? So your dad has anger issues, which sounds like maybe why you're not with him. But why aren't you with your mom?
At that time?
Yeah, at that time.
So I was going to school. I'm trying to think. My mom was bouncing places to live. My dad was the one that was more financially stable. My mom needed to move back in with my grandparents, so that's why we were living there at that time.
And that's her parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we were living there. And then let's see. Sorry, my computer keeps popping up. And then yeah, there wasn't really, I mean, I had a pretty good like childhood. Like my dad would take me places. My dad like kind of felt bad for the divorce, I guess, so he kind of like tried to like take me places all the time. My mom like met my dad when she was very young, trying to escape her family, who her brother was a addict. He was into speed and he's a rock star. You know, my parents met through you know who Motorhead is?
Of course I know who Motorhead is.
Yeah, so my dad's best friend, Todd, is the manager of Motorhead.
Okay.
So that's kind of how they met. They all met through that rock scene and everything. But
all right.
My mom's just kind of like went with him because she needed an escape from her brother punched her in the face. You know what I mean?
Her own brother?
It was bad. Yeah, they're fine
Whoa.
now, but drugs do that. Well, to some people, you know? So my mom, when she divorced my dad, she kind of had her little like party phase because she never got to experience it. You know what I mean? And then, you know, my dad would tell me horrible things about my mom. And I would constantly be like, my mom, I remember one time, like when I was little, I'm like, my mom's a whore. I didn't know what that means. He said it out loud.
Yeah, right.
My dad's like, shh. But that's just how you know, like my dad.
I said shit.
You know?
He didn't say, you don't say that about your brother. He's like, I told you, don't say that loud.
Yeah, but then I had such a resentment against her for a long time. And then like later I started to grow up and I realized, and I lived with him and everything. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I understand completely. So, yeah. And then let's see, what should we say next? Should we skip to the part where my dad goes to, okay, so
I mean, it's your life. No, don't be sorry. It's your life. I'm just worried about what we're jumping over.
I'm trying to think.
Well, let's talk about this first. So you've already, by age 12, 13, you've already had pills.
I lost my virginity at 13, went to an 18-year-old.
No.
Which I guess is fine, whatever. To like some dude that we went on like some vacation, right? And like I met some dude in a jacuzzi. And like I was so curious. Like I was like very sexual, as a kid.
Why?
Like, I don't know. I don't know why. I was just very like, I wanted to know. I wanted to have sex. I wanted to know what it felt like. But,
so you meet this boy.
Yeah, and it was just like it was weird, and it was just like I was too young to even realize it. Like, I just wanted to try it, and I'm being, it was not a good time. And then later, like, I vented to one of my dad's friends that told me like that she's close to me, and she told me, and then my dad's like, "You're sucking dicks on the vacation," and like went crazy on me. So, yeah. On top of me going through that, losing my virginity to some fucking asshole, I have to go home to my whole family telling me that I'm just sucking dicks or something.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, the fact that he even told you your mom was a whore, things like that sound pretty tough and rough growing up there.
I mean, that was divorce area too.
Yeah, still.
Right now our relationship is good. He still has a little bit of his thing, but not as bad.
So where does this all head? You pills, alcohol, where does it all head for you? Virginity you're losing early. Are you doing good in school, or are you just rebelling everywhere?
No, I was doing horrible in school, and that's like my biggest insecurities, because I was just like I couldn't focus because I had so much on my mind that I just wasn't, and I hated going to school. It was just like I hated going to school. But when I got to high school and like, and I was chunky, like I was fat, not cute. I had the belt, like my belly would roll over, and I looked like Fiona from Shrek, apparently. So I just was not cute.
What do you mean apparently? All. That's what they said.
Yeah. So yeah, and then puberty hit, and then I started slimming out a little bit, and then guys kind of started like talking to me, but like not the guys at my middle school. I started talking to the guys that went to high school. So I used to meet them at the library. And then that's when I smoked weed for the first time. And then I got into ecstasy pretty bad. We'd go to the mall every weekend and take ecstasy and all that. And then I got into, like when I took ecstasy one time, and I had to go home. I need my dad to pick me up, but sorry, I'm all over.
It's okay.
They gave me a pill that was like basically meth.
The people you were partying with?
They were trying to fuck with me. Yeah, they're like, take 2. You won't feel anything with 1. I ended up taking 2, and I was gacked out of my mind. So the guy I was with convinced me that I needed to tell my dad that I had a problem. So I had to go and tell my dad. I came home like, Dad, I have a problem. I'm addicted to ecstasy. And then he had me watch The Passion of the Christ and
wait,
beat my ass in the morning. Yeah.
I'm
coming down.
That was his fucking teaching moment, was watch The Passion of the Christ, and then in the morning I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's like the worst movie to watch when you're coming down.
It's just not a movie. Yeah, it's a man. Can I jump back for one moment? The pills, your grandma's pills, night after night. Does she eventually figure out that you're taking them? And okay, she doesn't. How long does that last? How long?
I was so young. That was only like that. Whenever I'd go see her like maybe once every 3 months.
Okay, so you're just knocking them back while you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go back.
She'll get a refill, and then
it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, bouncing back to, let's see. I took I was really trying to become like a hippie too back in the day and
Wait, when
find
you told your
myself.
dad, did he put you into rehab or anything after that? It was
No,
literally Passion of the Christ, beat that ass and
he
knock
just
it
thought I
off.
was just being a kid that was just fucking around with drugs. It wasn't at that point where it
And
was
were
like,
you addicted to ecstasy? Do you feel like you were?
I mean, I was doing it like every weekend. There's some point of it.
Yeah.
But um yeah, so I go to high school. Um and that's where it gets bad because I start getting into Xanax and yeah, I get into Xanax and all that, and that's the worst one. But I was going to tell
Okay,
you,
go ahead.
I took acid for the first time by myself alone. My first time taking acid ever, I was alone by myself in my room. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, what was that like?
A little weird, right? I was trying to be spiritual. I was like, I'm gonna find. I listened to the whole like Dark Side of the Moon album, and
Mhm.
it was cool. But I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you doing this? But yeah. So back to high school. I'm sorry if I'm all over the
Don't worry
place.
about it. I'm staying
I'm a
focused
little,
over here.
I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
nervous about my story because I want to say the right thing. Okay,
Well,
so high school.
can we talk about Xanax? You said you started doing that. What does that mean? How are you doing it? How are you taking it? Because you said that's bad.
Yeah, kids had it and everything. I had a boyfriend. He's still my boyfriend. I've met him when I was 14. We
Wow, you
met
guys been together for 10 years?
on and off,
Okay.
on and off. He's an addict too, so you know how that goes. And we met through drugs and stuff like that. So we're still together, but you know, um,
So tell me about Xanax.
he kind of was into it, and then I didn't like it at first.
What does
And
it
then
do to you?
sophomore-
How do you take it?
Just the
You just
bars.
pop a pill, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like take them at school, and school I'd take them and then school would be done. Like you'd be like, what happened? Because that's why I liked it, because it made the day go by super quick, you know? And then I started like I needed it. I got to a point where like I became that fiend. The reason why I can't really be like I can't do those drugs is because I'm a fiend when it comes to stuff like that. Like nobody likes, you know what I mean? I'm like, I need it. Like, or I can't, I'll have a panic attack or something. So when it started getting to that point, that's when I went to rehab for the first time. And, which was crazy. Rehabs are, I wish I could bring a camera in there and just
How old are
show
you? How old are you at rehab?
I was like 19.
Okay.
And I was in with boys and girls too. And I love those experiences because you're meeting so many people and like different stories, and you connect on the same level. Like I met like, you know, there's Acid John. He's like there was some guy, Acid John. He's like, hey, he like took way too much acid. We all call him, hey, how you doing? He's in rehab and shit. It's fun. But there's crazy ghetto bitches with the tattoos trying to fight me. They're paranoid from the meth. It's like, what are you looking at? I'm like, you know what I mean? And I don't like to fight. I try to stay away from that. But yeah, but they did some weird stuff too. Like with my meds, like they gave me, you're supposed to taper off of Xanax for just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was on it for a good portion of the time there. Like I shouldn't have been, you know, I should have like cut it off after 2 weeks, you know? But let's see. Okay. So I come back after that. Rehab I had to take a bus home because nobody could pick me up. I take a bus home I didn't even tell you about my dad and my stepmom. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm horrible.
It's okay.
By the way, my dad went to Germany on a business trip, right? Met a woman, a German woman, 2 a.m. in a bar. Long story short, they got married, and I have 2 little brothers.
Are they in California or are they all in Germany?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're here. But that all happened when I was 16, at the prime of my addiction.
Okay.
She came in. My 16th birthday, she's like, you want to drink some wine with me? And I'm, you know, like that was her intro. So I come back from rehab, and I come back, and I guess she didn't know I was coming. This bitch is wasted, and she asked me to go buy her alcohol. I'm like, bitch, I just came back from rehab.
from
But
rehab.
I was already fucked because I had dudes in there giving me their Suboxone or whatever. People had sneaky ways. So I wasn't ready at all anyways. But finally I just got worse. I got into coke with friends and Xanax, kind of went back to my old place. Finally, like I was at some hotel.
That's what they say about. I had friends in high school that were addicted, and a couple of them had to go move because they said, "Look, if you get out and you go right back to the same environment, the same people, the same everything, you're just going to fall right back into it. Like you really
Yeah.
need a change."
Yes, exactly. And then yeah, so my dad used to have my what's it called? Where they can find you,
Oh,
the find
location.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he couldn't. I was really fucked up one night doing a bunch of coke, and I slept in till 4. My parents are calling me. I'm not answering, and he tracks me. And then I wake up to a text. He's like, "Come outside right now," right? And I go outside. My mom's there. My stepmom's
Where
there.
are
My
you?
dad's there at some like shitty motel, and they're blocking my car in, and I'm all like, "Fuck you, bitch!" To the German lady. To her name's Kat. She's an alcoholic, and she tried to like sabotage me and my dad's relationship. She was like kind of jealous. Like it was just weird. She'd get drunk and she'd just be like, "You're not going to be anything." Like, you know what I mean?
Sounds like Christina P's mom right here.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it does.
Yeah, she's like, you're never going to go anywhere ever, and then I just be like, whatever, bitch. But yeah, so from that little incident, I went to Dr. Drew's rehab, Los Encinas,
Oh, you did? Okay.
the 5150, and then I was there I had to go to the 5150, the one where the crazy people on the bars. I've been to 3 5150s.
You've been
It's
admitted?
nothing. It's not something to be proud of, but I've been to 3, yeah.
That's a
But
hold, right?
yeah, 72-hour hold.
72. Okay. And
And
what do
then
you and tell me about that. Don't just
it's
jump
just
over it. I know you've been to 3, so what
it's a lot of
tell
it's a
people
lot
what
of
it's like.
It's a lot of like just laying in bed, like trying to fall asleep so the time will go by, or
Is it crowded? Are you in a like common area,
it's
or
like
you have your own
it's
room?
it's small. 5150 is like a small confined. Well, the one at least at that place
Like
was
a
like
closet?
small. Yeah, and then there's like weird people. They have like some of them, they just say weird shit, They like scream, and there's bars on the window, and I try to just color and go to sleep. That was like my thing. I'm just like, I'm gonna try to color. I'm gonna try to talk to these people, see their stories, because I try to like take in everyone's story. Like I want to hear everybody's side, even if
Mhm.
you're crazy. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
But then after that, so my parents are like, okay, we're sending you to Michigan, a rehab in Michigan,
Okay.
right? And I was like, oh fuck, like whatever. So I fly to Michigan to another rehab, and this rehab is beautiful. Like it's like one of the bougiest ever. This is the 3rd rehab too. And it's like such a beautiful place. It was an old golf course and it was snowing, right? So I got there and it's like everyone there is from different parts of the country. So there's different accents like from everywhere. Like I even still have sometimes the little like, hey, what's going on, mate? Like a little accent from like being with those people. But yeah, so I went there and then they gave us a choice. After you finish it, they gave us a choice of like, you want to go to a sober living, and like they give us little pamphlets of where to go. There's like San Diego, Atlanta, Florida.
And what's that all about? Is that like a community where it's just sober living, or is it an apartment complex? Like what
It's
is
like
sober living?
It's like an apartment complex, but you live with people, and then you're constantly being checked, and you got to be drug
okay.
tested all the time,
All
and
right.
you got to have meetings every fucking day. It's yeah. So
So what did you pick?
Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay, so
My
sober
friend.
living Atlanta.
Yes, because
Okay.
I picked because my friend picked Atlanta, and I kind of had like a little weird lesbian crush on her for a
Oh,
moment.
okay.
So I'm like,
All
let's
right.
go,
Good
okay.
for you.
So I went to Atlanta, and um, I went crazy over there. Like I did the most over there.
What do you
I was
mean?
doing okay. I was doing okay for a minute. It was like a beautiful apartment complex and everything, and I had people from Michigan come with me, so I already knew people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm so sorry. Um,
Atlanta. We're in Atlanta, and you're doing the most.
I'm sorry.
It's
So
okay.
yeah. Yeah, so we one of our managers there, our case managers, she OD'd
What?
off of Imodium. So
What?
yeah, she OD'd off of Imodium. Like we like woke up one day and like I just remember hearing screaming out my window, and I didn't know what it was, but in the morning they're all like, Katie died. And it was so weird because she like, she was in jail for a long time, and like she had her story. All of the managers and anyone that's a part of sober living,
Of
they're all
course.
fucked up. They all
Sure.
have their fucked up stories.
Yeah.
But she had just like gotten off of like all of her charges and stuff. She got her kid back, starting to get her kid back. And then she took Imodium. In Imodium, if you take enough, it has a similar effect
Wait.
as
Imodium AD, like that shit?
like diarrhea.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because it has a similar effect as heroin.
No.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
You mean if you
Yes.
drink that shit, like how much you need to drink of Imodium?
A lot.
I mean, you
but
better
then,
not make any fucking plans either, because you're just gonna be
hell
sitting on the
no.
goddamn toilet, shitting your
No.
guts out.
They said that she was just there, like not breathing for like, just like laying in bed, like not breathing.
Imodium
Right?
OD.
Yes. Right? But
so
after,
wait, I got to ask you. So is that like her addict's way of hiding this heroin addiction? Because she obviously is working in this industry. She can't test positive or anything, but this is still giving her the same effect that the drug did.
it's like kratom, kind of.
Have you
It's
ever
like
tried that? Taking the
Kratom?
Imodium? No, Imodium.
Hell no. No
No.
Imodium. No.
What's the other one you said? Kratom?
Kratom is just like a synthetic, like kind of synthetic opioid that doesn't show up in your drug test. So
Is
people
that
will
like
take it. You can get it at liquor stores and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Oh.
in like LA or something. They're hidden.
I'm thinking of
But-
what's the drug they use to get everyone off of fucking heroin all the time? What was it?
Suboxone,
There was another one.
naltrexone.
No, maybe it wasn't heroin then. What was there was a big, it was a clinic. Used to be right near our methadone. Is it methadone?
Methadone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
all right. So now
He's
you're
the manager.
you're
Yeah.
in a bad way in Atlanta. Case managers now overdosed.
Yes.
Okay.
So after that happened, everything went to shit. It was just like
For you mean
everything.
like you just went
just like the whole entire community. I mean, like
Oh.
I had a guy from follow me. He was my friend and everything, but he kind of had a crush on me. He's older, like 40 something too. And I totally joked with him. He was funny. He's like this black guy from Tennessee. Like he always talks. I love his accent. It would make me laugh so hard. But he had the key to my room because they chose him to be the manager that checks the rooms. And I'm like, you can't have one of us like doing that. Like, you know what I mean? So I just felt uncomfortable. And then one night I was drinking with the girl that I came with. Like we snuck off and drank, and then we both got kicked out. So one night I like drove to where she was working, her little job she was doing, and I told her, and we started just walking around Atlanta. She's from San Francisco too, so we're both not really from there. We're just walking around. We're like trying to find people that have trying to scope people out that might have drugs or might have something. We finally found someone pretty quickly, and yeah, so we found the drug dealers, the big ones. We'd have to go to
What were you getting in Atlanta? What was your drug of choice then?
Coke and
Yeah.
Xanax and random shit over there. It's pretty illegal over there too. But yeah, so yeah, what was I saying again?
You're all fucked up again in Atlanta now, you're saying.
I'm so sorry.
It's
Yeah, so I'm
okay.
all fucked up and we kind of go on like a little run. They let us come back
To Michigan?
and no, back to the
Oh,
they
back to
kicked
the
us
community. Gotcha.
because they kicked us out. And then I said some shit like I need you, whatever. So they put me in a room with this like there's this one chick, she's like a total lesbo, like dykey type lesbo. You know, she like leaves at 4 a.m. and she's never there, you know? So I would sneak out every night in the window and get picked up by the drug dealer and we go ride around and do crazy shit and all that. But yeah, so and then yeah, so I would go to meetings still out there and I met this one guy, this older guy, like 45 or something. And I had texted him one night, like 5 a.m. I'm like, do you have any Coke or something? You know? Or he even asked me. But I met him through the AA meeting, you know? And I go over to his house and I noticed that he has a rig, like a needle, you know? And I've never tried that ever. And
How old are
always
you?
been
How old are you
curious.
now at this point when you're about to do this?
20.
Okay.
20 years old. So I'm like, can I try it? Like, I want to try it. And he lets me try it. And like, I'm like sitting there doing it. And it's Coke. I was shooting Coke, you know?
I came in on a situation where a dude shot up. I never even knew people shot coke. This dude missed his veins.
You can shoot anything.
100 fucking. It looked like a goddamn quadruple homicide in that bathroom. This motherfucker. I never in my life seen somebody shoot cocaine in their veins. Okay, so wait, is he helping you? Like, is he tying you off and doing all this shit, or is he just telling you how to do it and you're doing it yourself?
No, he's doing it. I can't do it for shit. I try and I poke myself everywhere. Like I've always been,
So you're 20 years old in a 45-year-old man's house who is
with
now
his daughter's pictures all over the house. Little daughters that are pretty close to my age, all over the house. I'm coming in. Okay, so he did it, and I'm first time ever shooting up is the most. You're just like, what the fuck? Like you're like veins. So as I'm trying to experience it, this dude
Do you
pulls
throw
me
up
back.
though? Did you throw up your first time?
No. But
oh, that's right. It's coke.
Dude,
It's not heroin yet, duh.
the dude pulls me back, starts touching me, whips his dick out and shit.
Instantly?
Like, yeah, and I'm like, dude, like I couldn't say anything because I was just like I was like this because I'm just like I'm just shot up cocaine and this guy is doing this, and like he kind of he didn't force me, but he kind of just like it was just he just like put my face in his and you know what I mean in his dick. I'm just like, you know, and then so that was kind of like when I was like I need to go home. I need to go home, and I told the little drug dealer guys what happened, and I guess they all went over to his house and brought a gun and was like, "Do you ever do that again?" Like, yeah. So,
damn.
Yeah, but that was so I kind of had a transition from going from that one place in Atlanta to like, because I was kind of homeless in Atlanta.
I was going to say, can I ask you this question though? You're only 24 now. This is only just a few years ago. You're 20 years old. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're a small thing. I mean, isn't the biggest worry about going into these men's places being raped? Isn't that the biggest worry? Or are you so fucked up that you don't care? You put the safety aside. Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does it go through your mind and you still go anyway, or do you not even consider this man could rape me?
I just don't give a fuck at that point. I'm just no fucks are given.
Got it.
I'm just like, kill me. I was on a road. I was too much of a pussy to just like shoot myself or just cut. I wanted something like natural to happen, you know, like I shot up too much or like something to happen, you know. So I just put myself in dangerous
And
situations.
after that situation where this man assaults you,
Uh-huh.
you continue to go and do things like this, or does that shake you enough where you're like, all right, I need to fucking take
Well,
better care of
so
myself?
I had nowhere to go because I relapsed and I couldn't go back to the other place. So I had to go to like a community, like a detox
Mm-hmm.
place, right? And the day after I had just shot up the thing, and that triggered me so much to the point where I'm like, this is my new thing. Like I'm gonna start shooting up now. Like,
Oh,
so
man.
I left the detox. I was crazy that night too. Like some girl thought that I like was flirting with the guy, like a guy. So she like was trying to say some shit like, you left shit in the toilet. And I was like bumped up because and like pissed and I need drugs. I was like, I bopped her. And I'm like, I don't usually do that. And she fell on the floor and I had to like run. And then I'm just like walking on the street. And then I call the guy and I'm like, do you have any more? So yeah,
Oh,
even
the
after
same
the
older
fact,
dude.
even after that fact, I still went back and everything.
Did he always get aggressive with? Did he always assault you?
It was just weird. I mean, that time was just a little too much. I can't even remember. I don't even remember. But that was my point. I called my mom too when I took ecstasy and I was like, Mom, I need to go home. Like I just had something kind of happen where, you know, and then I didn't want to go home because like I have my stepmom that was there and she just has just made life like fucked up at the time. And I didn't want to go back to my mom's because like I have to live with my mom and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's a fucking asshole at that time. And like I live on a futon over there. I didn't want to leave, but I had to leave. So I missed 3 plane fights.
You
And
did?
I took a bar before the plane. They have like a little subway that goes along it. I knocked out, got my wallet stolen, my ID stolen, everything stolen, and I had to get on a plane. So I missed 3. So yeah, it's going crazy. But yeah, there's more.
Well, all right. So now how do you get from Atlanta back to LA? You finally get the flight back?
Finally, yeah. And then my parents, I have to stay with my mom because I'm not really talking too much. My dad, that night, he tells me that night is when the divorce happened because he divorced the lady.
Oh, the German lady.
Yeah, he divorced her that
Okay.
night because my dad was worried about me and she was getting jealous about like him caring about me and she gets so drunk. When she gets drunk, like she ruined Easter the other day. Just got so fucking
other
drunk.
day.
I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, you know, I'm like, Dad, you know, there's my boyfriend, me, and your ex-wife. We're all addicts. Why is there fucking wine on the table? You know,
Yeah.
so, you know, but I mean, like, I do occasionally they'll claw it up.
Claw
Don't
it up. Claw it up.
I did a little quizzy. Come on, like I'm not shooting dope or anything.
So let's talk about it. Hold on.
Yeah.
You go from loving cocaine intravenously to back to LA. Do you
Yes.
try to look for that now? What happens when you get out here? Like, you're living with your mom, but are you back on the hunt for a new connect for this new way to do cocaine?
Okay, so here I have this part written down. So I'm with my mom, and I'm kind of like she's keeping me in. She won't let me go anywhere because she knows that I'll call someone, I'll get drugs. So I'm just going crazy, you know? The first day she kind of lets me go to the mall by myself. I meet up with a friend. I take 2 bars of Xanax. I go into this little store called Daiso. Daiso, have you ever seen? It's like a little Asian.
Oh, yeah.
store.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
I go into Daiso, right? So I have 2 bags like that they're selling, like nice bags. And I just start stuffing stuff in it, right? I guess apparently, and then I guess I knocked out on the floor with all the shit that I was about to sell.
Nuh-uh.
So, yeah.
Wait.
My mom came.
You went into the store with the full intent to shoplift, and you ended up passing out on the floor with all the shit.
Yeah, with everything there. But the funny thing is they let me keep something. I still have stuff around here that like
They felt bad for your ass.
Yeah, they're like, this bitch needs take it, you know. And then after that, I went to 5150, and this is a story that I think is the fucking funniest. It's not funny, but it makes me laugh. So
why did you go? Why did you go to another one? This time, this particular 5150 you're about to tell us. Why are you in there?
I think I just did some drama shit because when you're on Xanax, you just fucking blurt shit out like, I'm gonna kill myself, fuck you. So I think I said that, and then that's when they sent me. But they sent me to Cerritos, this place in Cerritos, which was at the most, like, I wish I could sue them for how mistreated. And I kind of want to give awareness for how fucked up these places are.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So, I go in and, okay. So I go in, I meet my roommate, and it's just, I'm in 5150. This is not regular rehab. These people are fucking crazy. They're schizophrenic. So I go in my room, and there's this lady like covered up on the side, and I come in, she's like, you hear her, she's like, fucking bitch, fucking cunt, bitch, get the fuck out of here, like just under her breath, you know. And I told the one of the techs, I'm like, I can't sleep in here. She's gonna beat my ass. Like I'm scared. So she's like, okay, well, we don't really have any rooms, but you can go sleep in the one in the back. So I take all my shit over there, and then lights don't fucking turn off. How am I supposed to sleep when these like bright ass lights are on the whole time? I'm like tossing and turning, trying to sleep. Finally, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna go and see if this bitch is asleep. I'm gonna go test it out, you know? I walk over, like, okay, she's asleep. I'm getting quietly. Finally, I'm like about to fall asleep. Like I'm probably asleep. Out of nowhere, bitch comes out, grabs my hair. She's naked, big bitch, titties. I'm getting titties smacked in the face. She's beating the shit out of me. Titties, hands, all of it.
You get hit by hands and
like,
titties.
Help me! And she literally was like this, and titties are like I had every direction. You know? And then I'm like, help! It took them,
help!
I feel like they wanted it to happen too, because they took it a minute for them to like. Yeah. I think they're watching. They were like watching her, like
they're calling everybody in, like, come here, look, she got her titties in her face.
But she's butt ass naked.
We'll help her.
National Geographic titties in my face, if you know what I mean. You know? Yeah. So.
Those nice raindrops, those teardrop titties, all banging you up.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So they pick her up. They give her a booty shot
to knock her out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but and they're like, you should have stayed in the room. I'm like, bitch, the fucking lights were on. Like how you sleep in the room, you know? So I always thought that was funny. Like that hurt at the time, but that's fucking funny, right? Yeah. He beat up by some bitch with titties on my face. That's hilarious. But yeah, that place was just corrupt. I wanted to leave. Like I got frustrated over the situation. I'm like, I don't want to be here any longer. And then I saw she's like starts whipping out the syringe, like the Ativan. And if you take Ativan, then you're there another 3 days. You know what I mean?
Why did it put you out?
I don't know. It's just so fucked up. But like they kept me there for so long, and it was just so.
How long?
Longer than 32. It was like longer than that. And I'm like, I just got like beat up, and you had this happen to me, but me complaining about the situation, you're gonna make me stay longer, which it's like jail. It's like it's not a fun place. Like some hippie dudes telling me that it's good to drink your pee and shit, like fucking weird shit. Yeah. So yeah, and then from there I got sent to my 5th rehab. whatever the fuck.
Damn, girl, all by 21?
I was on the road to death. So
Yeah.
yeah. So then I went to West Covina. I forgot what it is. I went to their place. Their rehab was pretty good and everything. Like they had good counselors and stuff. You got your own rooms and everything like that.
Faith, listen to me. I
Mhm.
want to ask you a question. What are you
Mhm.
running from? What's so bad in your life that you don't want to face it every day unless you're fucked up? What
From
is
that
it?
point,
Yeah, back
on?
then. From what was it for you?
myself,
But why? What are you doing to
I
yourself?
hated myself.
You did.
I hated like I still struggle with it, but I truly like get to a point where I'm like, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Or I'll do
You don't think you're pretty? You don't think you're worth anything? You like
just a lot of stuff.
worthless?
A lot of stuff happens,
all of it.
or if I do something and I feel guilty, or I'll fucking just like, I just I was trying to die. So, um, what else? They sent me to that one, and then you get to choose from that rehab. You get to choose another sober living, right? I chose the ghetto sober living.
Where was
instead
that?
of the strict one in West Covina.
Mm.
There's one that's a little more strict, a little more white trash, like it smells bad, whatever. It's like only $600 a month or no, $300 a month or something. And I chose that over the nice one because the nice one, they're extra strict over there. I thought this one, I can get away with more shit. So I'm going to choose that one, which was true. I got away with more shit. I'd leave. I'd come back in the morning, like, you want donuts? Like, yeah. Like, I've been out all night. And then, so what happened was, what was it? I started getting into, I really wanted to try meth. Like, I just wanted
You had
to
never
try it.
tried it all those years of that
I
stuff?
have tried it. I've tried it, but I really wanted to
Do it.
shoot it up.
Oh,
I
shoot
wanted
it.
to try-
Fuck.
Yeah, I wanted
You
to
go
try it.
hardcore.
Because I smoked it. I smoked it with some dude. Because our little meetings were all around each other in that area. So there's sober living meetings, and then like the rehab, they're all in the area. So I met this one dude, this little cholo dude, who would like let me hit it sometimes off the pookie and everything. But I wanted to shoot it, so I randomly saw some like little kid, like a little couple that were my age that I was literally about to turn into in a few weeks. It's kind of interesting, but they gave me some, and I went back to my sober living, and I'm just like in the bathroom for hours all night long, just like trying my hardest till just like, how do I do this? I'm like poking like my skin and this like all that, and I was just doing that for, it was still hitting because it's still getting in your system, but it wasn't like a full hit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 7 in the morning, and we got to go to IOP. Do you know what IOP is?
I do not.
Intensive outpatient program. So it's
Okay.
like you go to these places for meetings and stuff. And like before class started, I went into the bathroom for one last time just to see if I could make it, because I hadn't made it all night. All night I've been trying, and I couldn't make it. I fucking made it. And I got the real shot, and it was way too much, right? And I'm like, I gotta go walk into a drug class right now, you know? And I had just,
Shut up.
so I'm sitting there, right? And like, I have made friends with people and stuff in there. Like, I met a lot of cool people, mostly older people, like older men that were like you, that like, I felt like I would watch over me and stuff, you know?
Mhm.
They were like, girl, you're grinding your teeth. You're looking, you know what I mean? So I finally like told them on our little break, I said, I just shot up some meth in the bathroom. And they're like, girl, you need to tell them. You know what I mean? Like, that's how, the only way you're going to get help is if you are honest. I'm like, no, I can't tell them. Please don't let me tell them. Like, please, like, I was begging them. I'm like, I shouldn't even told you. So they told one of the administrators, right? As soon as I see her, I fucking just bolt. It's like running around the fucking, I'm just like running away from her. You know what I mean? And then they're trying to calm me down because I was in psychosis mode at that point. I was in full psychosis. And I started running, and you just hear on the intercom, code green, code green, right? And I'm just like running, and I get tackled by six people come over and tackle me down to the floor. And yeah, that was fun.
So Faith, where are you now with your addiction? Tell me what's happening in your life today.
Oh,
Are you still
I
addicted?
don't know. Yeah, definitely. You're always addicted.
All right. Are you clean and sober right now?
Not completely.
Okay. What are you still doing? You don't have to answer this. You do not have to answer. I'm just asking.
Just know that my old self is creeping back in, and I'm trying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course I know what you mean.
But yeah, but I have one last story to tell you too. About like when I was really homeless.
Okay.
Can I tell you? Do we still have time?
Yeah, tell this story. We have time for this story.
Okay, so basically, I ran off with a boy, and we were just homeless on the street, going through buses and stuff like that, and we were shooting up. You know, he would like we were doing counterfeit money. You know, like we did.
What do you mean?
Yeah. We were doing it's tweaker shit. So we went to this like a hoe. It's an actual hoe, like a cooker, her house. And then they had like a printer set up and everything, and my job was to cut the money, like just scissors. I was just cutting the money. You glue it. And I used to work at Starbucks, so I remember you put the 20s under the thing. You don't really check it unless the manager's there. So we would hit all the Starbuckses. That's the only way we kind of survive, I guess. But it was very sketchy. So after that man was very like abused. Like it makes you very angry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he took me to his friend's house, and his friend saw how he was talking to me. And his friend was like, don't talk to her like that. And like, he's like, because he was being pretty fucked up. And then his friend was like, get the fuck out. And then me being like sick of his shit, I was like, yeah, get the fuck out. Like, I know you're on the street, but you need to get the fuck out. I felt bad because he's like, just, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you can't talk to me like that, you know? So I kind of moved into this new house where it's a mom, like a trap house. The mom is serving lines to everyone in the morning. She's judging me by what I'm doing from jumping to a different guy, but she's like serving lines to like all of us, like total geeked up. But I only needed that place to stay to survive because I couldn't be on the street. I was just, you know. So finally we got in some altercation, and I had told her that she's a fucked up mom or something like that. I had said something disrespectful. She comes swinging at me.
Titties hitting you in the face again? You get more titties in the face?
Old titties.
Old titties.
Yeah. But yeah. So then, and then his other friend came and grabbed me. He's like, let's go. So long story short, I go with him now. I'm just bouncing off of different guys just to help me survive because I can't be out there alone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we finally he takes me to Anaheim, and that's when I get into heroin, is when I go to Anaheim. And the first night we did heroin, we smoked it, right? And the guy that did it, I just woke up to him like behind me, you know, like doing me, right?
Wait, you woke up? You woke
like
up?
I'm out of I was on
Right.
I was on heroin.
And when you
so I was
woke
just
up,
like,
he was fucking you?
like I just was like, why is this dude? And my friend's just like looking at me like it's my fault. And I'm looking at him like, dude, can you help me? Like, what is like?
Wait, there's a guy that's having sex with you, and your friend is there looking?
Like right next to me, and like I guess, and then right after he's done, he fucking takes out a $20 bill and gives it to my friend.
No.
And I was like,
He
yeah.
fucking pimped you out for $20?
Yeah. Yeah. And then so I met the real drug dealer at Anaheim. He ended up liking me. He liked to shoot me up for some reason. He like loved it. Like he would always do it for me. But one night he asked me if I would come with him to go buy some drugs or whatever. And then he brought me into his house and just like kept shooting me up or whatever. And it got to a point where he wouldn't let me leave the house and he'd get aggressive. He's walking around the house with blood dripping down, like scary, like blood dripping down his arms. And like, I'd be like, can I go downstairs to just get my bag? He's like, it's okay. I'll get it for you. And it's okay. Like, he wouldn't let me leave, and he drugged me up so I would stay. Finally, I guess someone called the cops and he had to go. And my one friend that I was with, I hear him calling out the window. He's like, Faith, hurry, run. Like, you got to run now. So I run downstairs. I see my friend. He's holding all of my bags. He's like, bitch, we got to run. So we're just like running, like as fat. Because I took his drugs too, just because, yeah, he had a table. But we were running. And like, and I was like, I'm done with this life. I was gone for 3 months. I was homeless for like 3 months. And after
you've been
that,
assaulted, you've been raped. I mean, my God.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah. And then I went to this place called Rehab.
The fuck is Rehab? That doesn't even
I know, right? Right?
That doesn't even sound like some place you should check.
I know, right? It's for like low income.
I get it.
It's for sex traffickers, basically.
What do you mean for them?
Like it's mainly like the thing is like to help girls that have been sex trafficked.
Okay, well then that's a good thing then, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
it's not a low budge drug facility. It's to really help women who
and I've been there too. But yeah. And I met all kinds of women. So
listen, you're lucky to be alive. You know that, right? Though
I do,
know that.
yeah.
And not just from the drugs, not just from getting, thank God you haven't gotten a fucking hot shot. Thank God you haven't gotten anything fucking dirty. Thank God no one gave you AIDS. Thank God all of it. You are lucky to be alive. You are lucky to be alive. You got a long way to go, too. I'm double your age at this point, and man, I can't think of all the shit I've done in 24 years. You got a lot of life to live. So
the reason why I kind of, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, get that old ass Faith out of you. Don't let her creep back in.
It's creeping back in because I'm like, I'm a failure in life. Like, what am I, like.
Well, why are you a failure? You're alive. So what? A lot of people don't go to college. College is a waste of money a lot of times these days. You get a 6-figure fucking debt that you'll never pay off for a piece of paper that you probably don't even work in that field for anyway. You gotta pay a piece of paper that says you're, Bachelor of Science in Psychology and you're fucking delivering Uber Eats,
Yeah.
You do whatever you got to do to get fucking by. Papers don't make you shit. Certificates don't make you shit. None of it makes you shit. You make you shit.
I want to help people though. Like I genuinely want to help other people. Like that is what I think.
Well, let me say this first. You can't until you help yourself. You can't. You've got to help yourself.
Helping people.
What's that?
But helping people helps you too.
Yeah, amazing. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do with my life. I love comedy too. Like, if I could be a comedian, that would be awesome.
Listen, people think comedy and they think stand up right away. You could be a writer. You could be a podcaster. You could be an artist. You could be a comic books, all of it. It doesn't have to be this one set skill for comedy. All right.
Could you see me being in a podcast?
Not right now. I think you need to get yourself. I couldn't see you doing it consistently until I know you're 100% healthy. Because honestly, if you want to be successful at podcasting, you got to do it if you tell people I'm doing it weekly, do it every fucking week. You know what I'm saying? Let that be your addiction. So I could see, look, a lot of people I know who've battled addiction, continue to battle addiction, myself included with my own shit. Like, they're good at stuff when they put that addiction mentality to that. You know what I mean?
Like the gym.
The same thing with Josh Adammeyer is what Miami's saying. Like, he's a fitness freak because he takes that addiction mentality and puts it to that now instead of opiates. You know, so yes, I can right now. I hope you just take care of yourself. That's really.
I've been really good. I've been like amazing for like a whole year. I was completely sober.
And what a fucking year to be that's a year that'll test you right there.
Personal trainer too, and like I work out every day. It's just literally, I don't even know if I want to tell you this, but I don't know. Like lately, I've just been going through it. So. And I found it, so now it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing great, but I just got a little like depression episode. So,
well, go talk to a therapist. Keep doing the work.
I'm trying to find one.
Obviously, you're going in and out of these places. You're admitting you weren't ready yet, but just take care of yourself and stay strong and do what's right by you. You have to. You're 24, girl. You're going to fucking... I mean, you've seen people die off this shit. You know, I'm sure you know plenty of people that are your age that are gone. I know people from high school that are gone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's nuts. Well, thank you for coming on and opening up. I know this shit's not easy to talk about at all, and I appreciate you being completely honest and vulnerable and sharing your story with us. Thank you very much,
I wish
Faith.
I could talk to you again. Do you ever talk to people again?
We have not. I don't think we've done an episode yet where we've repeated a guest. I don't believe so. We were going to do a follow-up with a guy that did a kidney surgery. We're waiting to hear how he is. I haven't heard from him, so I'm a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little nervous for him. But
maybe in the future, maybe we could do a follow-up where I'm like a little bit.
Yeah, listen, take care of yourself and send me an email and we'll talk about it. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Faith.
Thank you.
And thank you all out there, too. Again, make sure you sign up for a year if you're in for the long haul so you can save some money. I know it's not cheap for everybody. You are now getting the HoneyDew a day early ad-free at no additional cost. And if you or someone you know has got that story, please submit it to honeydewpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Faith. And we'll talk to you all.
Thank you.
You're welcome, girl. Next week.